The incident involving Rachel Shenton on Loose Women began innocently enough, as these daytime talk show appearances often do, with the acclaimed actress and Oscar-winning screenwriter arriving at the ITV studios in a composed and professional manner, carrying the quiet confidence that has defined her career since her breakout role in Hollyoaks and her groundbreaking work on The Silent Child, the short film that earned her international acclaim for highlighting deaf experiences and sign language advocacy. She stepped onto the vibrant set, greeted by the familiar purple couch and the warm lighting designed to make guests feel at ease, ready to discuss her ongoing passion projects, including initiatives supporting deaf children and raising awareness about accessibility in media and education. Denise Welch, the veteran panelist known for her candid, no-holds-barred style honed over decades in soap operas like Coronation Street and her outspoken presence on the show, sat at the head of the table with her trademark grin, flanked by other regulars like Nadia Sawalha and Jane Moore, who exchanged pleasant small talk as the cameras rolled. The conversation kicked off lightly, touching on Rachel's latest endeavors and her personal journey as a hearing actress deeply committed to authentic representation of the deaf community, a topic she has championed tirelessly since learning British Sign Language and immersing herself in that world. Viewers at home initially tuned in expecting the usual mix of celebrity chit-chat, lifestyle tips, and heartfelt stories that Loose Women delivers daily, but beneath the surface politeness, subtle tensions began to simmer as Denise, perhaps drawing from her own experiences in the industry or her reputation for directness, steered the dialogue toward more probing questions about Rachel's career choices and the challenges of advocacy work in a mainstream entertainment landscape that often overlooks such issues. What started as a routine guest segment soon hinted at deeper undercurrents, with body language shifts to the slight lean forward from Denise, the measured pauses from Rachel signaling that the exchange might veer into unexpected territory, setting the stage for what would become one of the most talked about moments in recent Loose Women history, where professionalism clashed with passion in real time on live television. As the discussion progressed, the tone shifted noticeably when Denise Welch, never one to shy away from controversy or personal opinion, posed a question that many later described as pointed, perhaps challenging Rachel's approach to her advocacy or questioning the impact of her work in broader cultural terms, drawing on her own long history in British television where she has seen trends come and go. Rachel, maintaining her composure but clearly taken aback, responded with the thoughtful articulation that has become her hallmark, explaining the importance of lived experiences, collaboration with deaf creatives, and the systemic barriers that persist despite progress, her voice steady yet firm as she defended the integrity of her projects against any implication of superficiality. The panel chimed in sporadically, with Nadia offering supportive nods and Jane attempting to mediate with her signature wit, but Denise pressed further, her comments growing sharper, perhaps fueled by a genuine difference in perspective or the heat of the live moment where unscripted exchanges can ignite quickly. Audience members in the studio began to sense the rising intensity, the air thickening as words flew back and forth, Rachel's hands gesturing emphatically to underscore her points while Denise leaned in, her expression shifting from inquisitive to confrontational. Social media started buzzing almost immediately, with viewers posting real-time reactions about the palpable friction, some siding with Rachel's principled stand and others appreciating Denise's unfiltered honesty, highlighting the generational and experiential divides that often surface on such programs. The segment, originally intended to celebrate positive change and personal achievement, instead became a battleground of ideals, where advocacy met skepticism, and the raw emotion on display captivated audiences far beyond the usual daytime demographic, turning what could have been a forgettable interview into a viral flashpoint that spread rapidly across platforms like TikTok and YouTube. The heated exchange reached its peak in a matter of seconds that felt eternal on live television, as Denise delivered what many clips later isolated as the pivotal remark, a comment perceived by Rachel and much of the viewing public as dismissive or undermining of her hard-earned credentials and the deaf community's voice, prompting an immediate and visible reaction from the guest. Rachel's face tightened, her posture straightened, and she responded with a pointed rebuttal that cut through the studio noise, asserting her expertise and the authenticity of her commitment in no uncertain terms. her words carrying the weight of someone who has dedicated years to this cause and refused to let it be trivialized. The other panelists froze momentarily, caught off guard by the escalation, as the director likely scrambled in the control room to manage the unfolding drama without cutting to commercial prematurely. Denise, true to her fiery persona, doubled down briefly before the tension boiled over, leading to Rachel's decisive moment as she rose from her seat with dignity intact, addressed the camera directly with a calm yet powerful statement about respect and boundaries, and walked off the set amid stunned silence from the hosts and audience gasps that echoed through the microphones. This walk-off, whether interpreted as storming off in frustration or a principled exit, became the defining image of the incident, replayed endlessly in short-form videos that amplified the drama and fueled debates about who was right or wrong in the clash. Backstage reactions reportedly included hurried conversations among producers, while online, hashtags exploded as fans dissected every frame, praising Rachel's poise under pressure and critiquing Denise's approach, turning the episode into a broader conversation about guest treatment, live TV dynamics, and the responsibilities of panelists when engaging with sensitive topics like disability advocacy. In the immediate aftermath, the Loose Women studio attempted to regain composure as the cameras continued rolling, with Denise offering a brief acknowledgement that things had gotten intense before the show pivoted to a different topic, but the damage or the spark, depending on perspective, had already been done, and clips circulated faster than any official statement could contain. Rachel, having left the building, later addressed the situation through her representatives or subtle social media posts that emphasized her unwavering dedication to her causes without directly fueling the fire, maintaining the classy demeanor that has endeared her to supporters worldwide. Viewers flooded comment sections with divided opinions. Some accused Denise of bullying or insensitivity toward a guest promoting important work, while others defended her as simply being her authentic self in a format that thrives on lively debate, pointing out that Loose Women has always encouraged robust discussions rather than scripted politeness. Media outlets picked up the story, framing it variably as a shocking walkout, a fiery clash, or a tense moment that sparked buzz, with headlines emphasizing the kicked-off angle to maximize clicks even if the reality involved a voluntary departure amid rising tempers. The incident highlighted the unpredictable nature of live television, where personal passions can collide unexpectedly, and it prompted reflection on how shows balance entertainment with respect for guests' boundaries, especially when advocacy intersects with public discourse. Rachel's handling of the situation only strengthened her reputation as a thoughtful advocate, while Denise's role reinforced her image as a polarizing yet enduring figure in British daytime TV. The ripple effects extended far beyond that single episode, as the viral nature of the exchange kept it alive in public consciousness for weeks, inspiring reaction videos, think pieces on celebrity interviews gone wrong, and even discussions in deaf community forums about representation and how mainstream media handles such topics. Supporters rallied around Rachel, sharing her previous interviews and projects to underscore her contributions, while some questioned whether the kicked-off narrative was exaggerated clickbait designed to sensationalize what was essentially a passionate disagreement rather than an outright ejection by producers. Loose Women itself navigated the fallout carefully, with no immediate bans or removals confirmed officially, though the buzz suggested producers might tread more cautiously in future bookings involving similar themes. For Rachel, the experience, though uncomfortable, brought renewed attention to her work, potentially amplifying her message to new audiences who discovered her through the controversy and went on to learn about sign language initiatives and inclusive storytelling. Denise, ever resilient, continued her panel duties with her usual flair, perhaps addressing the moment indirectly in later episodes to clarify her intent without apology, staying true to the show's ethos of honest conversation. Ultimately, the event served as a reminder of the power dynamics and media appearances, where one offhand comment can ignite lasting debate, and how figures like Rachel Shenton use such moments to reinforce their missions rather than retreat from them, turning adversity into an opportunity for greater visibility and dialogue. Looking back on the entire saga, what began as a standard guest spot evolved into a defining cultural moment that encapsulated the tensions between advocacy and entertainment, personal conviction and public scrutiny, all unfolding in the unfiltered glare of live broadcast. Rachel Shenton's decision to stand her ground and exit when she felt her values were compromised resonated deeply with many who admired her integrity, while the incident prompted broader reflections on how daytime television can better facilitate meaningful exchanges without descending into confrontation. As clips continued to circulate and discussions persisted online, the story of that heated exchange with Denise Welch became more than just tabloid fodder. It highlighted the ongoing struggle for authentic voices in media, the challenges of navigating differing viewpoints respectfully, and the enduring impact one individual can have when they refuse to compromise on principles that matter. In the end, whether viewed as a dramatic walkout or a principled departure, the episode underscored Rachel's strength and the importance of her work, ensuring that conversations about deaf awareness and inclusion gained traction long after the studio lights dimmed, proving that sometimes the most powerful statements are made not just in words, but in the courage to walk away when necessary.